Jiu Jitsu is the newest and most fascinating martial art out there, and it's easy to see why.
He needs some milk!
But what's the first thing that pops into your head when you think about Jiu Jitsu? Injuries. Not that. That one guy that never takes a shower. Not that either. The fact that you've been training for over 7 years, but you'll never be as good as some 16-year-old kid that's half your size.
They ask you how you are.
We're talking about that Mary Jane. We're talking about that KK. We're talking about that dank Kron. And something that I've noticed since I started training is that more often than not, good Jiu Jitsu and sparking one up usually go hand in hand. I mean, even the god of Jiu Jitsu himself, that's right, Mr. Ro Jokin, has this to say about it.
It's one of the most amazing plants we've ever discovered.
So is that the secret? Is a pre-roll the only thing that's standing in between me and an 80cc title? Well, of course I had to find out. By the way, guys, this video is made for educational purposes only. Don't try what he's doing at home. He's a trained idiot. Don't you have somewhere you have to be? So the plan is pretty straightforward. First, we have to get our hands on some of that good green, some of that gasoline, some of that, okay, you get the idea. After that, we are going to consume it, get it inside of my body. After that, we're gonna do some doctor checkup tests, basically see where my brain is at and how functioning I am as a human being. And then finally, we are going to go to class, get in some actual jiu-jitsu, and hopefully not die. All right, team on three. Let's go!
You know he used to use my car.
What? Alright guys, we just pulled up right outside of the dealer's place. Gotta keep a super low profile because undercovers, man. Oof, gotta be careful. Oof, that was too close.
You know it's legal, right?
Oh, okay. That's right, YouTube. We are in Nevada where this stuff is completely legit. So please don't demonetize this video. I have a lot of hair product I need to pay for. And side note, all these clocks were set to 420, which I thought was hilarious. Alright guys, and of course, what kind of a video would this be if I did not include my best weapon? Anyways, what we have here is a little bit of something called Durban Poison. This has 20% THC, I believe. If you're a scientist, you know that 20% is a lot of THC. Let's hope this does the job. Now, the reason I got this is because it is a Sativa strain, which gives you that nice, heady, badingle. And who knows, maybe that'll help with my creativity tonight. Let's find out. Unfortunately, YouTube being what it is these days, I cannot show you what I'm about to do.
However,
if you want to follow me on Instagram, I will link that down below. For all you folks on YouTube, let's just cut to the next scene. Alright guys, I have taken a heroic amount. This may come as a shock to you guys, but I am not the heaviest user of these recreational devices. What I'm trying to say is that I'm off my rocker right now. Well, I didn't say that right. I am up there, but let's see if I can still function like a normal human being. So I'm gonna play some pool.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul.
Yeah, see, I guess I'll see how I do. Boom. Okay. Well, that pool thing was a titanic failure, so let's see how many tricks I can bust off. Alright, now that I have shown that whether I'm sober or dober, I still got something in me, it is time to take that confidence and head to Jiu Jitsu. Wish me luck. I am not used to this. Alright guys, we made it. We're gonna head inside and do some Jiu Jitsu. I am extremely medicated. Honestly, I don't know what is gonna happen. Come along. What day is it today?
Nogi day.
So the question is, can you actually learn new moves while in these altered states of consciousness? And the answer? Yeah, duh. I mean, just take a look at how flawlessly I execute the move that we were learning at class that day, which to be fair was pretty straightforward. All you have to do is sprawl out on a single leg, then wrap up the greatest submission God ever created, the Kimura lock. Then all you have to do is drive off the floor with your foot, using your grip to pull your opponent off to the side as you pull your leg behind them and throw it over their shoulder. And bish bash bosh, checkmate. What you gonna do now, bro? Why, I was doing so well that the head coach who was teaching it, who's been training for 69 years and 420 months, he came over to ask me for some pointers that he could use to sharpen up his Kimura. And then you'll never guess what he said next. He said you need to pause the video right now and hit that subscribe button. Please guys, I need your help. I'm tired of being a disappointment to my mom. So flow rolling, what is it, you may ask? Well, it is when you flow while rolling. I know, what a clever name.
Nice job, team.
Now, sarcasm aside, the idea here is to open up your game and play around with things that you don't usually without the fear of your partner punishing any mistakes you may make. So me and my evil twin Chris, we're gonna be giving and taking a little, and who knows, maybe we'll invent something never before seen. What's that you say? This edit feels a little different. You'd rather be listening to my beautiful voice breaking down this jiu-jitsu to make it digestible for y'all? Worry not, my friend, I've got you covered. So here we have a leg entanglement situation. He rolls with the motion at first, but then decides to break dance out of it. He gets up, I turn away, so he grabs a body lock and goes for the sitting back take. I walk back on my shoulders and grab his ankle to pummel my legs inside, so he hits a shoulder roll, going into turtle, and as he tries to Granby roll into me, I slide my right arm around his neck and lock up an anaconda choke. I then bail on it, letting him turn into me and grab a single leg. I then step over his body, cause why not, bro? YOLO, right? As we both get up to our feet, I go for a scuffed Uchimata with the overhook and then decide, I'm just gonna lay here. He then posts on my knee, stepping over my guard, and I'm kinda like, stop it, bro. Keeping the flow going, he dives over my body, grabbing my ankle and putting his foot behind my knee while rolling on his shoulder and coming up for a leg drag. I flatten my shoulders on the mat, driving my right knee to the ground, putting him in my open guard. I then drag his arm across his body, my body. And from turtle with his arm hooked, I throw my left leg over his body, rolling forward for an armbar attack. He grabs my ankle and rolls out of it for a hitchhiker escape, and immediately passes by my guard. As I turn away from him, throws his hooks in for back mount. I flatten my shoulders on the mat, grab his ankle and bring my knees to my chest, kicking him away from me, coming up behind him in turtle. As he stands up, I grab the body lock, throw my left hook in and sit off to the side, then throw in my right hook in for full back mount. As he shifts his way off to the side, I hook his arm and throw my leg over his head for the arm bar. He pries it off and slides his knee behind mine, coming up on a leg drag. And as I turn away from him, he throws his right leg over mine for a leg lock, so I grab his top ankle, turn away from him, and kick off on his glutes to get out of there. All right, I think you get the idea. This honestly goes on for a minute, but it's a bit long, ain't it? So I think it's time that we move on to the final test of this video, seeing how my jiu-jitsu holds up under these extenuating circumstances. Alright guys, and this is the final and most important test, seeing if we can perform with live resistance. If I fail this test, I am never doing this dumb idea again. We are starting this round in the position we worked on in class. I have a single leg and my partner has the Kimura trap. And as soon as we get to going, he hits a smooth chair set, putting me off to the side while he's behind. And from here, I'm blocking his top leg with my arm and putting my weight on his bottom leg, keeping him from being able to hip out and take my back. Even though he's able to throw up his top hook for a second, since his hips are so far away from mine, I'm able to peel it off pretty easily. I then grab his wrist, peeling his hand off of mine, allowing me to free my bottom arm and turn into him as I try to lock up a Darce. From here, I make a peace sign grip, driving my elbows together, trying to put him off to the side, but he has good base. So I switch my grips and put my leg over his head and my other one over his body, looking for a Peruvian necktie. I can feel him breaking my grip, so I decide to bail on the choke and sprawl out to keep him from escaping and getting on top of me. From here, he brings his left leg under his hips, sitting into me for guard, so I circle around his guard hard as he does it, putting him in side control. But ever the scrambler Kyle is, he's able to get his left knee in between the two of us, and after a little bit of adjusting, micro adjusting, he retains guard. From reverse De La Riva, he grabs my heel, looking to lock me down and put me off balance, but the butt is strong with me right now, so I grab his top ankle and switch my hips, passing into side control. He tries to turn away from me, and after a little bit of scrimbling and scrambling, I'm able to solidify side control, driving my hips into his to keep him flat on the mat. But homeboy's got hella cardio, so he hips into me hard as I try to correct him. He posts on my elbow and uses that to push me across his body, going belly down and grabbing a single leg, putting me on my butt. Here I push his head off to the side and drag his arm, looking to come up to his back. He hooks my leg, stopping me from doing that, so I sprawl out hard. And this position that we end up in, I can only describe as being very strange. But I'm able to regain my balance, and as he scoots to the side, looking for half guard, I'm able to free my far leg, grabbing his bottom wrist to prevent any sweeps. But the scrambling here is far from over, as he pulls his knees in between the two of us, and as I try to switch my hips past, he throws me into his full guard. I am not a fan of this, so I push off on his armpits, getting up to my feet, looking to break his guard. So he decides to preemptively open his guard and drop to the mat, snatching up the weirdest single leg I've ever seen in my life. As he looks to cut an angle and drive into it for the finish, I snatch up a 10-finger choke and drive my hips on top of his head, looking to finish it. But he flips and he flops, pulling his head off the center line, and as he flattens on the mat, I loosen up my choke a little, giving him a little bit of breathing room, but he's able to swim and underhook, and as I try to overload on the choke, he's able to get his hips underneath him, popping up to his feet, looking to finish the takedown, and I decide to go all in on a high elbow guillotine attempt like it's GameStop. Sadly though, I'm not able to get my legs around him, so he's able to smash them and pass by. I frame on his shoulder with everything that I have, putting him back in my guard. As he tries to pass, I push his head off the center line, throwing my leg over for the omoplata. He rolls, trying to get out of it, so I grab his wrist and hit in, getting the finish by armbar. You have no idea how good that finish felt after such a hard round. All right, so let's talk about my experience. So first of all, how did I feel? Honestly, I felt a little disconnected from my senses. However, my brain, it felt like it was in hyperdrive. Like I had just chugged a double shot of espresso. So I guess it felt like I took a combo of an upper and a downer. Maybe I should try a vodka Red Bull next time. How did my cardio feel? Honestly, I felt like my cardio was turbocharged. I think the fact that it was a Sativa strain just turbocharged my brain, and I was just moving constantly, even when I probably should have settled a little bit. Now, I definitely did feel like I pushed the pace and tried new things that probably I wouldn't have done as much if I wasn't medicated. Next time I feel like I've plateaued, you know, I might do this to break up the monotony. Anyways, guys, if you're still watching the video, you probably enjoyed it. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up button. And if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Jedi. I make the best videos on all of YouTube. So if you're interested in quality content, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I will talk to you guys on Friday. Remember, stay consistent and you can do whatever you want to do. Bye.